This is a mid-50s Hermes 2000 portable typewriter. I have yet to run the serial number, so I'm not exactly sure what year it was made, but it's pre-3000 obviously, and those were introduced, I believe, in 1958. So I'm based on the design, I'm thinking it's a 56, 57. I have a personal preference. I feel that in ways these exceed expectations compared to the Hermes 3000. I feel they're better built than the later Hermes portables in some ways, and I find flaws in other ways. It's funny because even though this is the predecessor of the more famous Hermes model, they're quite different. They're not really comparable when it comes to type action and overall experience, even though mechanically there's quite a few similarities, of course. But putting these side by side, they type completely different, of course, because this design is also older. This machine still features a carriage shift, which is fairly late into the typewriter evolution, so to speak, where segment shift really already was quite a thing for about 20-25 years. So seeing a manufacturer such as Hermes, which is Swiss based and known for their high quality machines, to still be using carriage shift, it's very similar to Olympia being very dated in their design, even though they are a high-end typewriter manufacturing company. Going over this particular typewriter, it belongs to a customer of mine who wanted it serviced. It came to me with the notorious Hermes 2000 Escapement issue. Actually, Hermes portable typewriters often suffer from this issue. And this stems from the Escapement star wheel, which is held in by two pivot screws. Those screws have a tendency to back off once in a while, and the star wheel will actually sag within the escapement. The machine will start to falter, skip, or stick when you're typing, and then people think it's just a small issue and force the carriage, and you end up breaking a heap of parts that end up having to be replaced. If your Hermes portable ever starts spontaneously skipping or sticking while you're typing, and it didn't do it before, stop what you're doing. Either have it fixed. If you're confident in fixing it, fix that immediately, or have someone look at it, because you don't want to use that typewriter if the escapement start wheel falls off its pivot screws. You'll end up with a big headache if you continue using it. If you force the carriage, overturn the carriage, do nothing to it, just leave it the way it is, because it will save you a headache later on, because you can damage the actual star wheel, you can damage the drive gear, you can damage the escapement rack on the carriage, the backspace pivot, the actual pivot screw, or the backspace dog. You can break the actual screw. There's a whole heap of parts that you can damage by forcing the carriage when that happens. Now, fortunately, on these portable typewriters, the carriage are relatively easy to take off. On these, it's 4 screws that hold it onto the shift mechanism. There's a linkage for the backspace over here, and there's a linkage over here for the color selector. And the Hermes 3000, it's even easier. There is 2 catches that are on the back there. You turn the screw, you don't even take the screws out, you turn the screws and the carriage pops right off. They thought about it for sure. Aside from that, this typewriter, it's a high miler for sure. It has some wear and tear, but it's in good condition. Definitely hasn't been abused. There's hardly any corrosion in it. It was sold oddly far away from where I am and where the customer. It was sold by the Acme Business Machines Company on Campbell Avenue in Roanoke, Virginia. So definitely a ways away from British Columbia in Canada, but it is overall a very nice typewriter. Decals, the chrome is in good condition, a few nicks here and there, but no flaking of any kind. I used Mother's polish, which I stand by is one of the best polishes you can buy, and I used the chrome polish, and it brings the shine right back on these old machines. And even the black car polish for when you're working on those type of machines there, this is the finishing touch. You know, you can use any kind of harder polish to take off any old tar, such as, you know, turtle wax, and then the chrome or black polish. It really brings a popping shine to your machine. Yeah, let's have a look. It has the conventional 1.5 and 2 line spacing, and then You can disengage the ratchet by putting it at 0. But line space mechanism here to advance gear. These have the prongs that engage and disengage, and on this one that was quite difficult and not an easy thing to fix, so we're put back together. Backspace on this machine is a little sluggish, and that's because the torsion spring that's on the catch link under the escapement is tired. It's a bit worn out, so you gotta give it a bit of a whack to make it work, but it does work. Everything else works just as smoothly as it does. It has the auto set margins that Royal came up with in the 1930s. Over here, taking the cover off, put a brand new ribbon on it. As you can tell, the inside's nice and clean because I did clean this machine thoroughly. All that has been taken apart and serviced. Cover's in nice shape. Now, there was a bit of a thing where I'm just going to put you down here because I need to put the cover back on. It is not always very easy to do. There we go. So this was the original back plate, and as you can see, the bottom is completely gished. There's big scratches on the back here where it looks like it might have been dropped at some point. Carriage ate away on that corner. Back panel on this, it was just ruined. So I have to thank Jacques Perrier from Switzerland, who sent me a brand new back panel. And that is his website. And yeah, a feather in your cap, good sir, for sending me this beautiful older style back panel. He did have the right color for it, but he said he had to take apart a fully functional typewriter, and I told him not to bother. The customer said that this was fine as well, and I gotta say, it does look very good actually. You get this two-tone going. It is from an earlier Hermes 2000s, but the screw holes and everything line up perfectly, and the decals are the same, because if you compare it to the old one, you know. But yeah, that was just unsalvageable. I don't know how they even managed that. This is what it's supposed to look like, if you can see. And this is what it looks like on the old one. Yeah, completely eaten away. So, anyways, this machine is back up and running. It does have a little outward ding there. I don't know how that happens, but... And then these two on the back, these filler pieces, do have some cracks going. But everything on this machine works. The color selector, the tabulator, it has a full keyboard, shift lock and shifts. And then here it's on the bottom. Nice and clean, as you can see. And I did put new feet on there, as the old one's completely disintegrated. But yeah, anyways, just a quick overview of what I've been working on. This typewriter, I will upload a separate typing sample video, so stay tuned for that.